Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Ben, and you're watching The Boys and Our Blades. And you do only see me. It's not the boys in the camera, but I got the other two boys behind the cameras. Got EJ and Asher out here with me. We're at the cabin, and we are going to talk about an axe today that is by one of my top two favorite axe makers. Got kind of a throwback video here for you, a total axe video. This is, and it's also in my favorite pattern. This is the Maine Wedge pattern. You can see it like a block of cheese almost. This is 7 Pines Forge. You can see that he's got a double wedge in there. We got a classic wood wedge and then the steel barrel wedge. That is a thing that a lot of companies do, and Ted Farringer from 7 Pines Forge is no different. It's very secure. I've never had one of his axes come loose, ever. And I've used them a lot. But this axe right here is one of my very favorites because it's my favorite pattern and it's also 7 Pines Forge. Ted, what he does with the steel, the way he tempers them, the way he makes these axes, they hold an edge forever. And not only is he a great axe maker and a blacksmith, but he's also a great person. Talk to him quite often. He's been very encouraging to me when I've gone through some stuff in my life, and I can't tell you how much that means to me. He's really a great person, and he makes great stuff, like I said. So this tree right here we're going to cut down is, I love this tree, this kind of tree, and the reason that I love it is because it's absolutely useless. And it gives us things to chop down. It is a cottonwood or a poplar, and it doesn't produce anything for the land. It doesn't feed animals. It grows to a certain size and then it dies. It's useless. So whenever we want to chop something down or work with the axes, we take these down, and pretty much only these. So what we do is we chop it down, we buck it, split it, and then get it ready for the fire. Outside, not inside. We don't want a chimney fire. So, yeah, we're going to take this down, and from where I'm standing, in the top and everything, we can tell it's going to fall down this way here, and that's where we're going to direct it. It's very safe. There's nothing going around that's going to, get hurt. There's no buildings or people or anything like that, so we'll direct it down that way, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we are going to do the classic tree felling. We're going to have our face cut here, and then I'm going to come back here and do my back cut. The face cut is always the first one that you do, always the first chops that you do, because it helps direct the tree. Basically, you're removing the wood from this part of the tree so that when you release the wood back here, it falls to where there is no wood most of the time. Especially when it's a nice calm day like this and it is leaning that way already, we should have no problems here, unless I really screw it up. And again, you just want to make sure that there's nothing around your feet that you can trip on, that all the logs are out of the way. You gotta look around, make sure that there's no Sasquatch. Think we're good? All right. And then again, what you do is you make your down chops, and then you make your parallel to the ground swings. That helps clear out the chips when you do that. Ooh. You gotta be careful. I just took one in the eye. Almost hit me good, but luckily it just grazed me. Wearing glasses might not be a bad idea. this is not very great. I'm not doing the best in the world here. And I had somebody tell me the other day that they like the videos because I always show if I make a mistake and not afraid to admit it. So in a perfect world, this would be kind of flat right there, and it wouldn't be as messy as this. You can see up here, these are pretty ineffective, but not the worst thing in the world. It's definitely going to get the job done. So we'll come around now and we'll do our back cut and we'll drop the tree. Alright, so now we're ready for our back cut. We got our face cut here, and depending on the size of the tree, you're going to want to make sure that your back cut is a little bit above where your face cut was, so that it actually falls that way. If you don't put it above it, then you kind of got a tree here with like no wood on this side and then no wood on this side, and then it's just kind of being held on in the middle by a little bit. So let's do our back cut. Make sure there's nothing around our feet, just like the other side. Oh, that was a bad swing. There you go. Took one off the face again. Alright, back up, guys. Oh, it's not quite ready. This is kind of a hairy situation. You just want to make sure. So the wind is actually blowing a little bit and it's keeping it up.
There we go. Timber.
Timber!
What did I tell you?
Wait, Dad,
Cut
try
it.
to do one more smack.
I told you I was afraid it was going to fall into the maple tree a little bit and get held up.
Oh. There we go.
Yep. Oh, you could probably try to push it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. I don't want you guys in there. So, we're going to stop. This is not safe. I don't want to have a risk of anybody getting hurt, any more risks than we've already taken. So I got to be a good example for my sons and for anybody young that may be watching. So we're going to leave this area. We're not going to come back here until Labor Day weekend, and hopefully when we do come back in here, the wind will have blown it over, and yeah, that's not going to put anybody at risk unless there's a random neighbor walking through our property, which doesn't happen because we have trail cameras and we never see them. So yeah, we do have a couple of trees though, a couple 100 yards away that need bucking, so we're going to show you a little bit with the Maine Wedge how it bucks. Yeah, this mistake right here, this is all me, or 75% me and 50% or 75% me and 25% nature. The wind held it up at the end, and I think that that just helped it twist a little bit, and that's why it got hung up a little bit south of where I wanted it to. 2 feet to the north and it would have fallen perfectly. But it's what happens, it's part of it, and definitely want to share the real world with you guys. So not the axe's fault, definitely my fault. So let's go do some bucking. Alright, so this is actually a tree that EJ chopped down. This is not a poplar, this is a maple tree, and I told him to chop it down. It was in one of our lanes for deer hunting, and I don't know, sometimes I tiptoe around why I'm cutting certain trees down. Well, guess they're my trees, I can chop them down if I want to. That being said, I don't want to be irresponsible, so that's why I don't chop down great, awesome maple and oak, walnut trees. Beech, we got a lot of beech here, but yeah, this is a silver maple, we call it, and yeah, let's just, you know, piece this up, make it carryable so we can get it out of the woods over by the bonfire spot or the fire spot. So man, I'm swinging bad when I'm swinging on my left hand side.
Ow. Uh-oh.
Maple is a lot harder than other woods, especially because this is dead and it's easier to glance the blows. Alright, want to swing over here? Can you see?
Yep.
Always make sure that your feet are, you know, there's nothing around your feet.
You can just break that. Yeah.
It's really not that thick. I'm actually surprised it took me that many swings, but I am a little bit out of practice. You know, chopping trees down and axes, just like anything, you got to stay in practice or else you're not as efficient, you're not as good. Alright guys, so just to conclude, I really want to encourage you guys to take a look at Seven Pines Forge. You can go on their website, sevenpinesforge.com, or if you go to wisemanTrading.com, and those are some other great guys at Wiseman Trading. I'll put links to both of them in the description. So yeah, obviously life isn't perfect. I made a mistake out there, and it almost cost us. So yeah, thank you for joining us. We're gonna process some of this firewood and have a fire, camp out tonight, fish, and yeah, thank you guys. If you enjoyed any of this, please click like and subscribe, and all the subscribers will help me take care of my oldest son, who's really kind of, he's having some problems obviously right now. He's behind me making fun of us. No, but thank you guys very much, and we will see you guys on the next one.